Did you know that one of the greatest speculators in history predicted and profited millions from the stock market crash of 1929, while most watched their fortunes crumble? Jesse Livermore, the legendary trader, challenged the market with an almost prophetic audacity, turning crises into golden opportunities. But what makes his journey even more fascinating is how he oscillated between glory and failure, revealing secrets that few dare to share. If you seek to understand the mysteries and phenomena of the financial market, prepare for a journey filled with historical lessons and innovative strategies that continue to influence investors today. The humble beginning of Jesse Livermore. Jesse Livermore, one of the most influential and extraordinary figures in finance, started his journey modestly. Born into a farming family, he left school at a young age and began working at a brokerage, earning a small weekly sum. What seemed like just an ordinary job sparked an immense curiosity in him about how markets function. There, he observed the ebb and flow of quotes and, almost instinctively, began identifying patterns. Who would have thought that this boy, without formal training in the market, would one day become a legend? As the days went by, Livermore developed his own method, recording stock movements in a notebook. By the age of 15, he had already amassed a small fortune for his age, applying his earnings to short trades. Constant practice honed his talent and fed his confidence. In a market driven by uncertainties and mysteries, he began to stand out for his intelligence and boldness. It was as if he could see beyond the obvious, capturing what others overlooked. The beginning of his career was full of lessons. He quickly understood that the market could be as relentless as it was generous. One of the most striking moments was his decision to invest heavily in a stock that seemed doomed to fall. He not only challenged common logic, but also the distrust of his peers. This event showed that his instinct was more than luck. It was a skill in formation. The early victories, though modest, were crucial in shaping his innovative approach. The young trader learned early on that the secret to staying in the game was not just to make money, but to understand the nature of the market. With this, he developed a resilient mindset and a passion for studying charts and historical data. A clear example of this was when he began to frequent libraries to seek information that other traders ignored. This constant pursuit of knowledge helped prepare him for critical moments in the future. Another key point in this early stage was his ability to short sell or profit from falling stocks. This strategy, uncommon for many at the time, would become one of his trademarks. Livermore had an incredible ability to anticipate downturns, something that would later earn him unimaginable fortunes. Even with limited resources, he already demonstrated impressive emotional control, which was vital for facing market fluctuations. Over time, his reputation began to grow. More experienced traders started to watch his moves with admiration and a hint of envy. The shy, curious boy was now seen as a prodigy. Despite this, he never lost his initial humility, always remembering that the market could humble even the wisest. This balance between confidence and respect for the unknown would be one of the secrets to his success. Livermore's early journey teaches us that even those who start from humble beginnings, without connections or privileges, can become masters in their fields. It's fascinating how he, even at such a young age, already possessed the discipline and focus necessary to thrive in such a chaotic environment. But this story is just beginning. After all, what awaited this prodigy was nothing less than historical. Rise and first fortunes. Jesse Livermore soon proved he was not an ordinary trader. His rise in the market was as rapid as it was impressive. In the early years of his career, he managed to turn small bets into substantial gains. With each trade, his confidence grew, and he stood out as an innovative trader with an almost prophetic reading of the markets. It was not just luck. Livermore applied analysis, patience, and a dose of boldness. His first great fortune came when he bet against the market at a critical moment, a move that left his competitors stunned. During this period, Livermore began to gain notoriety, being known as the Boy Wonder of Wall Street. His name circulated through the halls of brokerage firms, and even the great market magnates began to take notice. What made him so influential was his ability to predict movements with extraordinary accuracy. He understood the cyclical nature of markets and knew that behind every rise, there was a potential for a fall, and vice versa. This strategic vision allowed him to not only amass wealth, but also consolidate his reputation. One of his most incredible trades during this phase was betting on the fall of the cotton market. Prices were high, but Livermore sensed subtle signs that the trend would soon reverse. He acted quickly, short-selling, and reaping substantial profits when the market plummeted. This episode showcased his ability to operate against common sense, a characteristic few traders of the time dared to adopt. Livermore had a sixth sense for identifying these turning points, keeping him always ahead of the others. However, his path was not without setbacks. During his ascent, he experienced significant losses, but he never allowed them to define him. Each mistake was treated as a learning opportunity, a piece in the puzzle of the market. Livermore understood that the market, as unpredictable as it was, followed certain historical patterns. He dedicated himself to studying them, spending hours analyzing charts and data. For him, the history of the market was a treasure chest filled with hidden lessons. Another factor that contributed to his success was his rigorous discipline. Livermore had clear rules about when to enter and exit a trade, and he rarely let emotion sway him. For example, he always said that patience was a crucial virtue in the market. Often, he would wait weeks or even months before making a decision. This level of self-control was rare and proved vital during times of high volatility. He knew that in a market driven by impulses, keeping a cool head was a strategic advantage. Additionally, Livermore was a man of vision. He did not limit himself to stocks. He also explored commodities such as wheat, cotton, and coffee. This diversification not only broadened his opportunities, but also spread his risks. He understood that the financial market was a vast ocean of possibilities, filled with intriguing and mysterious phenomena. Livermore was an explorer, always searching for the next big move. His ability to transition between different markets made him even more influential and respected. With these first fortunes, Livermore began to experience the luxury and prestige that success brought. He acquired mansions, luxury cars, and lived a life worthy of films. However, he knew that wealth was fleeting if not accompanied by intelligence and strategy. Livermore was constantly preparing for what was to come next, as he understood that the market never sleeps and that, just as he had risen, it could fall at any moment. And so, his journey of ascent continued, always accompanied by the fascinating unpredictability of the market. The Great Crash of 1907. In 1907, Jesse Livermore faced one of the most challenging and fascinating moments of his career. The financial crisis that shook the United States that year brought widespread panic. The stock market plummeted and many investors lost everything. But for Livermore, this chaotic scenario presented an extraordinary opportunity. He believed that even in the darkest moments, the market revealed predictable patterns. By betting against stocks, he managed to turn a historic collapse into one of his greatest financial victories. Unlike many traders who succumbed to fear, Livermore remained calm. He understood that panic was a natural phenomenon in times of uncertainty and knew how to position himself strategically. With uncommon intelligence, he analyzed investor behavior and realized that the mass selling of stocks created a domino effect, driving prices down even further. Taking advantage of this dynamic, he employed the short-selling technique, profiting while others watched their fortunes evaporate. A curious episode during this crisis was when Livermore decided to bet against the banks, predicting that financial institutions would be severely affected. Many considered this decision extremely risky, but he saw what few could. The bankruptcy of several major institutions validated his thesis and earned him millions. This success solidified his reputation as a brave and visionary trader, capable of thriving even in scenarios of complete collapse. However, Livermore knew that the market was unpredictable and that even the best strategies had their limits. He devoted himself to studying the lessons of the crisis, learning from others' mistakes, and refining his tactics even further. One of his key learnings was the importance of always having a capital reserve for uncertain times. This principle accompanied him throughout his career, demonstrating his ability to turn challenges into practical lessons. Another notable point was the emotional resilience he displayed. Amid the crisis, many traders succumbed to pressure and made impulsive decisions. Livermore, on the other hand, knew that patience and discipline were his greatest allies. He avoided panicking, keeping his focus on his analyses and strategies. This emotional control was fundamental to his success during the Great Crash of 1907 and would become one of his trademarks. In addition to becoming wealthier, Livermore also used the crisis as a laboratory to test his theories. He realized that the market had predictable cycles of euphoria and depression and began exploring these phases with even greater precision. For example, he delved deeply into the periods of recovery post-crisis, identifying opportunities that others overlooked. His innovative and intelligent approach was so influential that many investors began to follow in his footsteps. The 1907 crisis proved to be a turning point in Jesse Livermore's career. He emerged from it not only wealthier, but also wiser. This experience reaffirmed his belief that the market rewards those who can face adversity with strategy and courage. However, he knew that new challenges would always lurk, waiting for the right moment to test his skills again. The path to the 1929 crash. In the following decades, Jesse Livermore continued to build his reputation as one of Wall Street's most brilliant and innovative traders. His ability to anticipate market movements was almost supernatural, but he never underestimated the volatile nature of finance. The period leading up to the 1929 crash was marked by unrestrained euphoria. People invested in stocks with a nearly blind optimism, believing that prosperity would be infinite. Livermore, however, began to notice warning signs that few saw. The economy appeared strong, but the financial market was bloated with excessive speculation. Trusting in his experience and intelligence, Livermore began to prepare for the inevitable. He believed that behind every extraordinary rise, there was an imminent fall. The key was identifying the right moment to act. He spent months observing the market, analyzing historical patterns, and studying capital flows. During this time, he noticed an unusual increase in speculative trading volume, something indicating a potential collapse. It was as if the market were building a bubble about to burst. Livermore decided to act cautiously. He began short selling, betting against specific stocks he believed were overvalued. This move was extremely risky, as the market was still on the rise. Many of his contemporaries called him crazy, but he had full confidence in his analysis. Patience was his ally, and he knew the right moment would come. While everyone else celebrated easy profits, he strategically positioned himself, waiting for the collapse he knew was inevitable. The collapse finally began in October 1929. Stocks plummeted abruptly, and panic gripped investors. Millions of dollars evaporated in a matter of days, and the crisis quickly spread to the global economy. Livermore, however, reaped the rewards of his meticulous preparation. While most faced devastating losses, he amassed a colossal fortune. It is estimated that he profited around $100 million during the crash, an absolutely historic feat. His short-selling strategy proved to be not only profitable, but also a demonstration of his ability to anticipate and act in critical moments. The 1929 crash marked the pinnacle of his career, but it also brought important reflections. Livermore knew that despite his success, the market could be unpredictable and cruel. He did not let euphoria take hold of him, always maintaining a critical and disciplined eye. Additionally, he continued to refine his strategies, aware that new challenges would arise. His success during the collapse crowned him as one of the most influential speculators in history, but he never underestimated the destructive power of the market. One fascinating aspect of this phase was Livermore's impact on the market as a whole. His operations were so significant that they directly influenced stock movements. He became an almost mythical figure, with investors and economists trying to unravel his methods. Despite this, Livermore never hid the complexity of the market. He often said that the market had its own logic, and only those willing to study it deeply could survive. The 1929 crash was an extraordinary event, and Livermore's ability to navigate this financial storm is a testament to his genius. But like every great trader, he knew that the market was an unpredictable master, always ready to test even the most experienced. His gaze, always attentive to the mysteries of the market, continued to seek new opportunities amid the chaos. Livermore's financial roller coaster. Even after the peak of his career during the 1929 crash, Jesse Livermore's journey continued to be marked by impressive ups and downs. His ability to accumulate gigantic fortunes was as notable as his tendency to lose them. This was not just a result of market volatility, but also the risky choices he made. Livermore lived in a world where extraordinary opportunities came with equally high risks. Each time he fell, however, he rose again with even more determination, ready to face the mysteries and challenges of the financial market. One of the most fascinating aspects of his journey was his resilience in the face of massive losses. On several occasions, Livermore lost everything, from fortunes accumulated over years to the luxuries surrounding him. With each defeat, he meticulously analyzed what went wrong, extracting valuable lessons for his next endeavor. He understood that the market was a living entity, constantly changing, and that adaptability was essential to survive and thrive. His history of financial turnarounds is a testament to his incredible ability to learn from mistakes. Livermore was also a pioneer in the idea that emotional control is as important as technical knowledge. He admitted that, in moments of euphoria or despair, impulsive decisions could be fatal. Despite his success, he was not immune to the psychological pressure of the market. Some of his biggest losses occurred when he ignored his own principles of caution and discipline. This shows that even the smartest and most influential traders can fall victim to their instincts. Another aspect that contributed to the roller coaster of his financial life was his constant quest for greater challenges. Livermore was not satisfied with small gains. He was always seeking the next big play. This mindset led him to undertake some of the most audacious and innovative trades of his time, but also resulted in spectacular falls. One example of this was his attempt to manipulate the cotton market, which ended in a financial disaster. Despite this, he never abandoned his philosophy that the market rewards those who risk intelligently. His personal life also reflected this dynamic of extremes. Livermore lived a luxurious lifestyle, with mansions, expensive cars, and extravagant trips. However, when losses came, he experienced the other side of the coin, facing financial difficulties and even social isolation. This illustrates how fortune in the market can be fleeting, even for the brightest. Despite it all, he maintained the conviction that each new crisis was a disguised opportunity, a chance to rebuild. Livermore firmly believed that the market was not a game of chance, but rather a complex and fascinating field of study. He spent hours analyzing charts, searching for patterns that could offer a strategic advantage. His dedication to constant learning was impressive and served as an example for other traders. He understood that even after years of experience, the market still had much to teach. His ability to reinvent himself after each setback is a testament to his extraordinary vision and tireless mindset. Despite his financial roller coaster, Livermore never lost respect for the power of the market. He knew that the key to success was not to avoid falls, but to learn how to recover from them. His trajectory inspired and continues to inspire generations of traders and investors. But as he himself said, the market is an unstoppable force, and only those who remain vigilant can hope to survive and thrive in its uncertain and unpredictable environment. The legacy of Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, Jesse Livermore left a lasting impact on the financial world, much of it due to the classic book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, written by Edwin Lefebvre. Although not a direct autobiography, the work narrates the life of a fictional trader, Larry Livingston, clearly based on Livermore. This book has become essential reading for traders and investors, offering a fascinating insight into the unpredictable and intriguing nature of the market. More than a manual of techniques, It captures the psychological and emotional essence of financial trading, something few texts of the time addressed. One of the most extraordinary aspects of the book is its ability to remain relevant for decades. Many of the principles Livermore followed, such as trend usage, the importance of patience and risk management, are still pillars of modern trading. The reader is invited to dive into the ups and downs of the market, learning from the mistakes and successes of Livingston. Behind each financial decision, there are valuable lessons about discipline and emotional control. This balance between strategy and psychology makes the book a timeless masterpiece. Livermore believed that true intelligence in the market came not only from technical analysis, but also from understanding human nature. The book brilliantly portrays this, showing how fear and greed influence investor behavior. With each page, the reader is reminded that the market is, at its core, a reflection of collective emotions. Practical examples, such as the buying mania before the 1907 crash and the selling panic in 1929, illustrate how Livermore used this knowledge to position himself ahead of others. Another fascinating point is Livermore's innovative approach to risk. He understood that losses were inevitable, but believed that true mastery lay in limiting those losses and maximizing gains. The book emphasizes the importance of cutting losses quickly and letting profits run. This philosophy, simple in theory, is one of the biggest challenges in practice. Many traders struggle to control their emotions during these moments, but Livermore developed an almost military discipline in this regard. The impact of Reminiscences of a Stock Operator goes beyond the financial market. It has influenced entrepreneurs, economists, and even psychologists, offering profound insights into decision-making and uncertainty management. Livermore showed that the market is not a purely technical environment. It demands a holistic understanding of economic and human forces. That is why the book remains one of the most influential in financial literature, inspiring readers to explore the phenomena and mysteries of the market with a new perspective. For those starting in the financial world, the book serves as a practical and inspiring guide. Livermore encourages readers to develop their own strategies and trust their intuition, but without ignoring the need for study and preparation. He exemplifies this with stories of his own victories and defeats, showing that even the best traders face setbacks. The important thing is to learn from each experience and continue to evolve. Finally, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator is not just a historical account, but an invitation to understand the market as a living organism, full of surprises. Livermore's legacy, immortalized in these pages, remains a source of inspiration and learning. But his story does not end here. There is still much more to explore about the life and teachings of this legendary trader. The decline and personal tragedy. Despite his extraordinary achievements, Jesse Livermore's life was marked by a gradual decline that culminated in tragedy. After the monumental success during the 1929 crash, he faced growing difficulties in maintaining his fortune. The market changed, and some of his strategies were no longer as effective. Furthermore, the psychological weight of trading on a large scale began to affect him deeply. With each new attempt to recover, he faced barriers that, although invisible, were as real as the financial crises he had overcome. Livermore began to suffer significant losses, eroding not only his wealth but also his confidence. In one of the most critical moments, he found himself unable to apply his own rules of discipline and risk management. This was not uncommon for traders of the time, but for Livermore, it was especially devastating. He had become a historical figure, someone who seemed invincible, and dealing with these defeats profoundly shook his mental and emotional health. External pressure also contributed to his decline. Livermore lived under constant scrutiny, and his trades were closely monitored by investors and the media. The expectation that he would continue to be a market genius isolated him even further. His personal life reflected this stress. He faced divorces, family conflicts, and eventually health problems. All of this exacerbated his sense of isolation, even surrounded by a world that admired his past achievements. One of the most tragic decisions of his career was attempting to recover his fortune by betting heavily again. But But the circumstances were not in his favor. The market had changed, and Livermore, who once dominated fluctuations, seemed out of sync. He began to question himself, something rare for someone with his confidence and experience. The weight of his accumulated losses and the realization that he could no longer reverse the situation led him into a state of despair. However, even amid chaos, Livermore never ceased to be a figure of learning. He recorded his thoughts and lessons in a final book, How to Trade in Stocks, where he shared valuable principles about trading. Although it did not achieve the same impact as his previous works, the book reflects his determination to leave a legacy for future generations. He wanted other traders to learn from his mistakes and successes, and for his experience to serve as a guide for those willing to confront the mysteries of the market. Unfortunately, the emotional challenges proved unbearable. On November 28, 1940, Livermore took his own life in a hotel in New York. His death was a shock to the financial world, which witnessed the tragic end of a brilliant mind. He left behind a farewell letter expressing his internal struggles, something that further humanized the figure many considered almost mythical. Livermore was a living reminder that even the strongest face invisible battles. Despite the sad ending, Jesse Livermore's story is a testament to resilience, intelligence, and innovation. He not only shaped how we view the financial market, but also left lasting lessons about human nature, the power of discipline, and the emotional challenges of navigating an unpredictable world. And thus, his legend continues to inspire and teach, even in the shadows of his tragedy. The lessons of Jesse Livermore for the modern investor. Even decades after his death, Jesse Livermore remains an influential figure in the world of finance. His strategies and philosophies are incredibly relevant, offering precious lessons for investors and traders of all generations. One of the most important is the need to respect market cycles. Livermore always emphasized that the market is cyclical, with moments of euphoria followed by periods of retraction. He believed that understanding these cycles was essential for identifying opportunities and avoiding traps. A crucial lesson Livermore left was the concept of risk management. He was a fierce advocate of cutting losses quickly and letting profits run. Many investors fall into the trap of holding onto losing positions in the hope of recovery. But Livermore showed that financial intelligence lies in accepting small setbacks while protecting oneself from larger losses. For the modern investor, this means setting stop losses and maintaining discipline, something that can easily be applied using today's tools, such as digital trading platforms. Livermore also taught the importance of patience and timing. He often waited for the exact moment to enter or exit a trade, basing his decisions on meticulous analyses. This approach is vital for today's investor, especially in a market saturated with information and noise. Livermore said that the biggest mistake traders make is impatience, a constant reminder that in finance, haste is the enemy of perfection. Another fundamental point is adaptability. Livermore operated in both bull and bear markets, showing that flexibility is a strategic advantage. He did not limit himself to a single approach, but adjusted his tactics according to market conditions. For the modern investor, this may mean diversifying portfolio, exploring different asset classes, and being open to new opportunities, such as cryptocurrencies or sustainable investments, always analyzing the risks involved. Emotional control is another vital lesson. Livermore understood that the market is driven by human emotions, fear and greed. He knew that to succeed, it was necessary to maintain emotional balance, not getting swept away by moments of euphoria or despair. In today's context, with markets operating 24 hours a day and the pressure of social media, this control is more important than ever. Techniques like mindfulness and financial journaling can help investors remain calm and make more rational decisions. Livermore also taught the value of continuous study. He believed that the market was always evolving and that learning never ended. For him, knowledge was a weapon against uncertainty. This is particularly relevant today, when information is accessible to all. Livermore would encourage the modern investor to take advantage of online courses, webinars, and books to stay updated and sharp. Finally, Perhaps Livermore's greatest lesson is that the market is a journey of constant self-discovery. He saw the market as a mirror of the human mind, full of mysteries and extraordinary phenomena. He reminds us that true success is not just in financial gains, but in the ability to learn, evolve, and adapt. And with that, Livermore remains a historical figure whose wisdom transcends time. The impact of Livermore on today's financial market. Jesse Livermore's influence on the modern financial market is undeniable. His strategies and principles continue to shape how traders and investors view the market. Many of his teachings have been incorporated into contemporary theories, such as technical analysis and risk management. His legacy lives on in the charts that traders around the world consult daily, seeking patterns and trends, just as Livermore did over a century ago. His name remains a symbol of innovation and intelligence in a world that never stops evolving. One area where his influence is most evident is in technical analysis. Livermore was one of the pioneers in identifying price patterns and using charts to predict market movements. Today, sophisticated tools like moving averages, RSI, and Bollinger Bands are widely used, but the fundamentals of these analyses can be traced back to Livermore's intuitive practices. He did not have access to today's technology, but his ability to read the market was so accurate that many consider him one of the first technical analysts in history. The concept of trading psychology, widely discussed today, also owes much to Livermore. He understood that the market is not just a numbers game, but an arena dominated by human emotions. The extreme volatility he exploited remains a central feature of modern markets, especially during periods of economic uncertainty. Livermore taught that understanding the collective psychology of investors can be key to anticipating movements, something contemporary traders try to apply with techniques like sentiment analysis. His impact is also reflected in the trading culture. Livermore popularized the idea that financial success requires not only skill, but also discipline and resilience. His concepts of trend and momentum have become cornerstones of day trading and swing trading, styles widely practiced today. Furthermore, the notion that the market is an unyielding master that punishes arrogance and rewards humility is a lesson many modern traders learn, often the hard way. Another significant contribution of Livermore is the notion that the market is a learning environment. He believed that no one could fully master its dynamics, which encouraged a relentless pursuit of knowledge. This principle is more relevant than ever in a world where new asset classes, like cryptocurrencies, emerge constantly. Livermore would serve as a reminder that to remain relevant, one must always be willing to explore new horizons and accept that the market is a terrain of constant discoveries. Additionally, Livermore influenced how investors view crises. He demonstrated that moments of collapse are not just periods of loss, but opportunities for profit for those who know how to position themselves. His approach during the 1929 crash inspires investors to adopt protective strategies and consider short positions during extreme volatility. In a globalized market where crises can spread quickly, this mindset becomes even more valuable. Finally, Livermore's impact can be seen in the growing popularity of quants and trading algorithms. While he worked manually and intuitively, many of the patterns he identified are now quantified and automated by computers. The financial market today may seem very different from what it was in Livermore's time, but his fundamental ideas remain incredibly influential. He taught us that amid the uncertainty and complexity of the market, there is always room for intelligence, innovation, and a good dose of courage. The lasting legacy of Jesse Livermore. Jesse Livermore was not just a brilliant speculator. He was a visionary whose impact transcends generations. His story, filled with successes and failures, continues to inspire both experienced traders and beginners. Livermore showed that the financial market is a battleground where intelligence, discipline, and resilience are the most valuable weapons. Even after his death, he remains an influential figure, proving that the knowledge accumulated in his lifetime is timeless. His journey is a powerful reminder that success in the market goes beyond accumulating wealth. It is about learning to navigate an environment filled with uncertainties and extraordinary phenomena. Livermore's legacy is rooted in his practical and philosophical teachings. He showed us that the market operates in cycles and that historical patterns often repeat themselves. This concept is vital for modern traders who rely on trend analysis to predict future movements. Livermore believed that the true secret to success was knowing how to wait for the right moment, a lesson that continues to be taught in finance and trading courses. His innovative approach transformed how we view the market, highlighting the importance of a strategic mindset. One of the greatest tributes to his legacy is the influence he exerted on financial literature. Books like Reminiscences of a Stock Operator are read by millions, offering deep insights into market psychology and human behavior. Livermore not only revolutionized trading practices, he also helped build a theoretical foundation that educates and inspires to this day. His lessons on discipline, emotional control, and risk management are pillars for any investor seeking to understand the mysteries of the market. Livermore also represents the duality of the financial market, a place of extraordinary opportunities, but also relentless challenges. He understood that the market could be as cruel as it was generous, and this perspective led him to adopt a balanced approach. For the modern investor, his story is a reminder that success is not linear. Even the most successful traders face downturns, but it is the ability to learn and adapt that determines who thrives in the long run. Additionally, Livermore left a cultural impact that goes beyond the financial world. He is often cited as an example of how innovative thinking and courage can lead to success even in uncertain environments. His life is proof that amid the complexities and mysteries of the market, there is always an opportunity for those willing to study and take risks. His strategies continue to be used, discussed, and adapted, evidencing his ongoing relevance. What makes his legacy so powerful is the universality of his lessons. Livermore did not operate merely with numbers. He understood human behavior, which allowed him to anticipate changes in the market in an almost prophetic way. This profound understanding of social and economic dynamics is one of the reasons his influence still resonates. He teaches us that the market, with all its ups and downs, is a reflection of human nature, unpredictable but full of possibilities. Finally, Jesse Livermore's legacy serves as a beacon for anyone looking to explore the fascinating and challenging world of finance. He left not just a financial inheritance. He left a map for navigating uncertainties and seizing the opportunities that arise. His story remains alive, reminding us that the true power of the market lies in its ability to teach and transform those who dare to unravel it. Now that you know the fascinating story of Jesse Livermore and his strategies, are you ready to apply these lessons in the market? Remember, success does not come without challenges, but with discipline and intelligence, it is possible to transform adversities into incredible opportunities. What will your next move be? Are you prepared to face the mysteries of the market? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep exploring the extraordinary world of finance.